Sam Alford, aka I Am, an artist, activist, and Milwaukee native, is our speaker tonight. Alford has been described as a fiery public speaker with a brilliant mind and sensitive soul. Around the Midwest, he has served as a powerful community organizer and campaign manager, has led thousands in protests and campaign causes such as Black Lives Matter, mental health, and economic justice. He was raised in the city of Milwaukee, the second oldest of 5 children. His biography states he found himself naturally the big brother and protector type of human being, yet his personal love and passion is art and spirituality, which he uses in captivating spoken word and musical performances. He has taught poetry at the Milwaukee Center for the Performing Arts on behalf of the Running Rebels Youth Organization, is a songwriter for Beat Council LLC, and has performed at Summerfest in Milwaukee and as far away as Cape Town, South Africa. He is pursuing a PhD in psychology and hopes to practice a new form of art therapy, incorporating film, hip-hop, and performing artists. So please kick back, relax, and enjoy this wonderful and fiery presentation from Sam Alford.
How long will it take? How long will prejudice blind the divisions of men? I just wanted to wake you guys up with that. That's how much I like MLK. Thank you guys so much. I want to thank Kiana, thank Ripon College. Again, I'm Samuel Alford. I hail from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My lovely girlfriend is with me, Yasmin, way in the back. And I just want to thank you guys so much for having us out. I'm a huge fan of Martin Luther King and his work, right? Obviously, like a lot of us, some of us wouldn't be here without some of his work. And I'm here to engage you guys. Listen, for the students, I don't know what year you were, but I'm not too far removed from being a college student. As you heard, I'm going back. I'm not in my PhD program yet, but I came to engage you. I came to do a workshop. I don't even have like a PowerPoint I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna play some snippets with some videos. We're gonna have some stuff happen. You're gonna react to it. You're gonna hear a few things, and we're gonna do it like that. Wake you up, keep you alive, and we're gonna challenge you a little bit too. And that goes for everybody. All right, is that cool? Is that fair? Yeah. I don't hear you. Ready for a new semester? All right, one day you'll be great for this semester. I stand on my desk, heart beating in my chest, wanting to be better than my best. I stand on my desk. Sorry, Papa, I don't have the plans that you planned for me. I planned the A, I never planned the B. Just success, no failures, but I plan to see. I stand on my desk. Yes, that desk you made to keep me in order, a deceiving aura to make me an employee rather than an employer. I stand on my desk. See, no fear won't enter my ear. I stand on my desk. See, I'm bigger than a university. There's a university in me. And I ain't faking at it. When I get to heaven, I'm going to be like, Daddy, can I make a plan? I stand on my desk. See, my poem was written down in an outdoor classroom with tears of liberation. I stand on my desk. Why? I stand on my desk. Jesus, you said, we'll do greater works than these, and I work for thee, and I'll work for free, because you're worth the fee. I stand on my desk. Yes, I'm teachable, but not deceivable. So please leave a note if you want me to go 3 below plus 3 below. That's feet, you know. I stand on my desk. It's where my feet will go. Carpe diem, y'all can't keep them. That's likely for action mixed with my passion. I stand on my desk. This is not pride or rebellion. This is God I'm in. I stand on my desk. Why? Why? They taught me to die. They told me hell's fair. They taught me to lie. They told me welfare, no health care, poverty, dishonesty, racism, atheism, patriotism, over sexuality before you know what sexuality, fear and distrust, cuss words that I would hear and discuss. I stand on my desk, taking no notes, but the one I sing, the one my king. I stand on my desk. So don't clap your hands. Knock over those books and take a stance. I want every woman, boy, and man to confess. I stand on my desk.
All right.
It's okay to react. You can talk back to me, you can rag, you can laugh. So in my outline, because I wanted people to be engaged and not be caught up in a PowerPoint or float, really be in the moment and be present. What we're covering is time. Through the leadership, through the eyes of Martin Luther King, time, how he viewed time. One time he said time is neutral. It is neither for or against your cause. It is a neutral thing that happens. If you wait for something to change, just wait, won't anything happen. It's not necessarily on your side, it's neutral. So time, access, giving voice, and closing, how long, not long. So, I'm gonna, if this thing works right, in a second we're gonna play a snippet of Martin Luther King. I've been to the mountaintop speech. There was the last speech, actually the day before he got killed, and he talked about time. And he opened up. If you guys could be born at any time throughout history, when would you be born? Any time in history. The Renaissance, and then Egypt, Kemet way back in the day. 30 years from now. Two people, somebody tell me really quick, when would you be born? I told you, I'm here to talk to you. I'm not here to just dance for you, say you had a good time. Anybody, when would you be born? Just shout it out.
Right now.
Right now?
90s.
90s. So you want to be what? Did you want to be born in the 90s, or would you want to be like an adult in the 90s?
Adult in the 90s.
Why is that?
I think for me it's just the
You
fact
get slow internet if you got internet off.
For me, I think that's when it was like a good movement, at least for civil rights, in the form of hip hop. I'm a hip hop fanatic.
Okay. Nice. No, who's reading? Good hip hop. Who said 30 years from now? I'm 7 o'clock. Okay.
As a person, I don't think it's the right choice for that.
Okay. So you will go forward? Nice. I don't take this the wrong way, but you're essentially saying that you want to reap some benefits later of what it would be like to be a person. You want it to be a little bit easier. All right, cool. How do you guys, all right, love, you ready? Can we play this? I'm going to go ahead and play what Martin Luther King said. He said, when, it's like 2 minutes.
Thank you very kindly,
Turn it up a
my
little bit.
friend. As I listen to Ralph Abernathy
That's good as it gets,
and
believe me.
his eloquent and generous introduction, and then thought about myself, I wondered who he was talking about. It's always good to have your closest friend and associate to say something good about you. And Ralph Abernathy is the best friend that I have in the world. I'm delighted to see each of you here tonight in spite of a storm warning. You reveal that you are determined to go on anyhow. Something is happening in Memphis, something is happening in our world. And you know, if I was standing at the beginning of time with the possibility of taking a kind of general and panoramic view of the whole of human history up to now, and the Almighty said to me, Martin Luther King, which age would you like to live in? little flight by Egypt. And I would watch God's children in their magnificent trek from the dark dungeons of Egypt through, or rather across the Red Sea, through the wilderness on toward the Promised Land. And in spite of its magnificence, I wouldn't stop there. I would move on by Greece and take my mind to Mount Olympus. And I would see Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, Euripides, and Aristophanes assemble around the Parthenon. And I would watch them around the Parthenon as they discussed the great and eternal issues of reality, but I wouldn't stop there. I would go on even to the great heyday of the Roman Empire. And I would see developments around there through various emperors and leaders, but I wouldn't stop there. I would even come up to the day of the Renaissance and get a quick picture of all that the Renaissance did for the cultural and aesthetic life of man, but I would even go by the way that the man for whom I'm named had his habitat. And I would watch Martin Luther as he tacked his 95 Theses on the door at the Church of Wittenberg, but I wouldn't stop there. I would come on up even to 1863 and watch a vacillating president by the name of Abraham Lincoln finally come to the conclusion that he had to sign the Emancipation Proclamation, but I wouldn't stop there. I would even come up to the early 30s and see a man grappling with the problems of the bankruptcy of his nation, and come with an eloquent cry that we have nothing to fear but fear itself, but I wouldn't stop there. Strangely enough, I would turn to the Almighty and say, if you allow me to live just a few years in the second half of the 20th century, I will be happy. Now that's a strange statement to make because the world is all messed up. The nation is sick. Trouble is in the land, confusion all around. That's a strange statement. But I know somehow that only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. And I see God working in this period of the 20th century in a way that men in some strange way are responding. Something is happening in our world. The masses of people are rising up, and wherever they are assembled today, in Johannesburg, South Africa, Nairobi, Kenya, Accra, Ghana, New York City, Atlanta, Georgia, Jackson, Mississippi, or Memphis, Tennessee, the cry is always the same: we want to be free. And another reason that I'm happy to live in this period is that we have been forced to a point where we are going to have to grapple with the problems that men have been trying to grapple with through history, but the demands didn't force them to do it. Survival demands that we grapple with it. Men for years now have been talking about war and peace, but now no longer can they just talk about it. It is no longer the choice between violence and non-violence in this world. It's non-violence or non-existence. That is where we are today. And also in the human rights revolution, if something isn't done and done in a hurry to bring the colored people of the world out of their long years of poverty.
Awesome. What year is it now? Or when did he say that? How much has time made a difference just on his own? Martin Luther King said, if you give me a few years, in the end of the 20th century, I could do something. He said time in his own, in one speech, is a neutral force, a phenomenon. It's neither good or bad. Some of our parents were born in that year or around that time. In another speech, he said there is a fierce urgency of now. When was his now again? 68, right? Fierce urgency of now, and time is neutral. Again, I told you guys I wanted to engage you and not just talk at you or have a PowerPoint or bring something before. I wanted you to be present. And this is not because I couldn't. Can somebody Google why we can't wait from MLK? And if you wouldn't mind to read a few of the lines from that. This is a workshop, and this is a speech, and I got something for you. But why we can't wait, and then shortly we'll be eating, so it's not all talking. We're going to eat in the middle, and we have a little bit of a case study in between that, and then we'll end it off. But in short, I don't know if anybody's done that phone labor, that Google labor. Y'all life is not that hard. But anyway, so a letter from a Birmingham jail. Have anybody heard of this letter from Birmingham jail? I see some hands, I see some hands. So some of you guys know the tenets. So Martin Luther King obviously was a reverend, right? He was a preacher. Leadership through his eyes came from the auspice of the faith of Christianity, which teaches you to be a suffering servant, to fight for liberal freedoms and social access, according to how Jesus did it. He said it's not the well who need a doctor, but the sick do. So how many of you guys have jobs, right? You got a job, you're part of a club, whether it's a Greek organization or not, and you have contemporaries or colleagues, right? And sometimes on these teams or jobs or whatever, you want certain things and other people have a different timeline, right? So Martin Luther King was like, hey, we get lynched, we get whipped, we still have separate but equal access to bathrooms and hospitals and all that. And he was a Christian, and some of his other colleagues were Christian, black and white, but the white folks and his colleagues said, hey, your methodology is a little bit different. You're rushing, you're doing too much, and you're trying to move too fast. How many of you guys think Martin Luther King was moving too fast? So he said, I rarely dignify my critics with a response. He said, if I did, my secretaries, we'd never get anything done. If you had to address all your haters all the time, would you get anything done? I know I would. I've been there before. Anyway, so he said, why we can't wait. He said that the Negro or the black man was suffocating in a cage of poverty in amongst an affluent society. And that time wouldn't allow him to wait, and his colleagues didn't get it. He wasn't in Birmingham because of not any specific reason, that he was there because he was asked to be there. And he said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So, and other college campuses, and I'll speak to the ladies really quick, we see this an issue on college campuses, and I don't want to trigger anybody or anything, but we hear that rape on college campuses is an issue, right? And that's wrong. But when we call that as a dangerous precedent, if people can get away with it over here, why not get away from it over here? So injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And that is lined with time. I have another snippet of a video, but I wanted to get you guys started eating soon, so catering should have the food out. I wanted us to be able to watch this one while we chow down a little bit, and we're gonna do stuff real fun while we eat. Might be fun for me to watch. But one thing I'm good at is talking, so I can talk for a long time. So we had time. Time right now. It's 2019, Happy New Year. Your new semester starts tomorrow. One day you will miss this moment. We're gonna go ahead. Now I want you guys to be completely real with me, completely honest. I don't care if your teacher is in here, your RA is in here. We're gonna be all the way real and keep it above, as they say in my culture. The colloquialism for being very honest and candid, or keep it 100. That's how some say. How many guys want to be noticed and seen for something you do well? Let me see a hand. You want to be noticed. You want some good attention, right? How many guys like to talk? Right? You like to talk. How many guys think you can do this? Hey, don't lie. I used to be you. I can do that. And that's not anything wrong. So inherently, with everything you just answered, is there something wrong with that? Right? Is it wrong? Now, can it turn a guy who likes to talk, can that go to one extreme to like, all right, he's always talking? Or the other extreme is somebody never talks. I'm going to go ahead and, Yasmin, we're going to play the drum major instinct. Look like catering is coming. We're going to go ahead and play about 9 minutes of this video. And Martin Luther King said that in everybody, there's this thing called a drum major thing, where you want to lead, you want to be out front, you want to see. He talked about the ego. He said we can use that in a righteous way. And a lot of times he talked about that analogous to race. Say your friend is real quiet, and you're the talker. How about we talk about something that matters and not just trivial things? So we're going to hear what Martin had to say on the topic about the drum major instinct to be out front, to lead, to do what we do. Go ahead, Love.
I would like to use as a subject from which to preach the drum major instinct. The drum major instinct. And our text for the morning is taken from a very familiar passage in chapter as recorded by St. Mark. Beginning with the 35th verse of that chapter, we read these words. And James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came unto him, saying, Master, we would that thou shouldest do for us whatsoever we shall desire. And he said unto them, What would ye that I should do for you? And they said unto him, Grant unto us that we may sit, one on thy right hand and the other on thy left hand in thy glory. But Jesus said unto them, Ye know not what ye ask. Can ye drink of the cup that I drink of, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? And they said unto him, We can. And Jesus said unto them, Ye shall indeed drink of the cup that I drink, and with the baptism that I am baptized withal shall ye be baptized. But to sit on my right hand and on my left hand is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared. And then Jesus goes on toward the end of that passage to say, but so shall it not be among you, but whosoever will be great among you shall be your servant, and whosoever of you will be the chiefest shall be servant of all. The setting is clear. James and John are making a specific request of the Master. They had dreamed, as most of the Hebrews dreamed, of a coming king of Israel who would set Jerusalem free and establish his kingdom on Mount Zion and in righteousness rule the world. And they thought of Jesus as this kind of king, and they were thinking of that day when Jesus would reign supreme as this new king of Israel. And they were saying, now, when you establish a kingdom,
Lovely. Can you
let
pause really quick?
one of us sit on the right hand and the other on the left hand.
I just want to give you guys a quick context. James and John. So the Jewish people were under occupation by the Roman government. So they were a minority and they were occupied. So this is historical. So historically they felt occupied and oppressed and discriminated against. So when they came to Jesus, they saw him as the Messiah, the new Messiah, like the new king, the new ruler. And they asked him a very audacious request. It's like if you knew the next chancellor of this school, and you as a student, like, hey, when you become chancellor, can I be vice chancellor? When you become this, can I become vice president? Or put me in your cabinet. Yeah, I know I haven't finished school, but I'm ready. And most were like, hey man, just calm down, put up the brakes. And so in biblical context, Jesus was coming one time. This context is a story, not saying you have to believe it, as like a suffering servant to save the world, right? But it was prophesied in their history books and their texts that later in the Revelations that he would come and conquer the world and take down the oppressors and the sinners. All oppression that people didn't like and all that, take out the bad guys. So they're like, hey, when you come back and take out the bad guys, can I roll up high with you? Can I be right in your cabinet, right hand and your left hand? And he's like, I don't think you know what you're asking. And can you take what I'm gonna take? Because Jesus historically got beaten, was whipped, and suffered, and all that. So he didn't condemn their ambition or audacity, but he just told them to count the cost. You want the popularity in this space and to be seen and be heard, but can you take the sacrifice and what it takes? And the greatest person amongst you, some of the greatest people are servants, like this man we're talking about today. So you understand the history. It's like, hey, you're going to be vice president. Can I be vice? You know, you're going to be president. Can I be vice? So it's about our audacity, being seen and heard. And I give you, it's called the drum major instinct. It goes to science too. So it uses this story. And we'll be done, and the food is getting set up. And we're going to take a dinner break. And we're going to come back and close with one more little workshop and a speech. There's a little social experiment I'm going to do. And we'll get to that. We'll play the rest of this video. Hit it.
Yes, sir. Now, very quickly, we would automatically condemn James and John. We would say they were selfish. Why would they make such a selfish request? But before we condemn them too quickly, let us look calmly and honestly at ourselves, and we will discover that we too have those same basic desires for recognition, for importance, that same desire for attention, that same desire to be first. Of course, the other disciples got mad with James and John, and you could understand why, but we must understand that we have some of the same James and John qualities. And that is deep down within all of us, an instinct. It's a kind of drum major instinct, a desire to be out front, a desire to lead the parade, a desire to be first. It is something that runs a whole gamut of life. And so before we condemn them, let us see that we all have the drum major instinct. We all want to be important, ask others to achieve distinction, to lead aid. Alford, the great psychoanalyst, contends that this is the dominant impulse. Sigmund Freud used to contend that sex was the dominant impulse, and Adler came with a new argument saying that this quest for recognition, this desire for attention, this desire for distinction is the basic impulse, the basic drive of human life, this drum major instinct. And you know, we began earlier to ask life to put us first. Our first cry as a baby was a bid for attention. And all through childhood, the drum major impulse or instinct is a major obsession. Children ask life to grant them first place. They are a little bundle of ego. They have innately now in adult life we still have it, and we really never get by it. We like to do something, and you know, we like to be praised for it. Now if you don't believe that, you just go on living life, and you will discover very soon that you like to be praised. Everybody likes it, as a matter of fact. And somehow this warm glow we feel when we are praised, or when our name is in print, is something of the vitamin A to our ego. Nobody is unhappy when they are praised, even if they know they don't deserve it, and even if they don't believe it. The only unhappy people about praise is when praise is going too much towards somebody. But everybody likes to be praised because of this real drum major instinct. Do you know that a lot of the race problem grows out of the drum major instinct? A need that some people have to feel superior. A need that some people have to feel that they are first, and to feel that their white skin ordained them to be first. They have said over and over again, in ways that we see with our own eyes. In fact, not too long ago, a man down in Mississippi said that God was a charter member of the White Citizens Council. And so, God being the charter member means that everybody who's in that has a kind of divinity, a kind of superiority. In think of what has happened in history as a result of this perverted use of the drum major instinct. It's led to the most tragic prejudice, the most tragic expressions of man's inhumanity to man. And not only does this thing go into the racial struggle, it goes into the struggle between nations. And I would submit to you this morning that what is wrong in the world today is that the nations of the world are engaged in a bitter, colossal contest for supremacy. And the sun doesn't happen to stop this trend. I'm sorely afraid that we won't be here to talk about Jesus Christ and about God and about brotherhood too many more years. If somebody doesn't bring an end to this suicidal thrust that we see in the world today, none of us are going to be around, because somebody is going to make the mistake through our senseless blundering of dropping a nuclear bomb somewhere, and then another one is going to drop, and don't let anybody fool you. This can happen within a matter of seconds. They have 20 megaton bombs in Russia right now that can destroy a city as big as New York in 3 seconds with everybody wiped away in every building. And we can do the same thing to Russia and China. But this is why we have drifted, and we're drifting there. Because nations are caught up with the drum major instinct. I must be first. I must be supreme. Our nation must rule the world. And I am sad to say that the nation in which we live is the supreme culprit. And I'm going to continue to say it to America, because I love this country too much to see the drift that it has taken. God didn't call America to do what she's doing in the world now. God didn't call America to engage in a senseless, unjust war as the war in Vietnam. And we are criminals in that war. We have committed more war crimes almost than any nation in the world. And I'm going to continue to say it. And we won't stop it because of our pride and our arrogance as a nation. But God has a way of even putting nations in their place. The God that I worship has a way of saying, don't play with me. He has a way of saying, as the God of the Old Testament used to say, the Hebrews, don't play with me. Don't play with me, Babylon. Be still and know that I'm God. If you don't stop your reckless course, I'll rise up and break the backbone of your power. And that can happen to America. Every now and then I go back and read Gibbon's Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. And when I come and look at America, I say to myself, the parallels are frightening. We have perverted the drum major instinct. Let me rush on to my conclusion, because I want you to see what Jesus was really saying. What was the answer that Jesus gave these men?
All right.
It's very interesting. One would have thought.
The I want to be first, I need to be seen or heard instinct, or what he called the drum major instinct, the person who's in front of the band with the whistle in their mouth, drumming, leading the show. Now again, we said that that could be either be good or bad. You know what I mean? It's a neutral instinct. He quoted a scientist about ego. Well, you guys look tired. Some of you guys like, man, this is heavy. Some like, I enjoy it, but good luck. There's food right behind you. We'll be getting to that in like 3 minutes, not even. We're going to take a break and have dinner. And we're going to come back to the end. We're going to close it out and have a lot of fun. Hope you guys stay with me. I want you guys to reflect on that, be mindful for a minute. The drum major instinct, you can call it the superstar instinct, the Cardi B instinct. That makes sense to anybody? The Kanye instinct, you know what I mean? Listen, if I go to your Instagram right now, your Facebook, I'm gonna see some of that instinct popping up. Some of y'all already know. So, if If anybody, we have 2 quick real reflections if somebody wanted to say something or speak to that. This is not a monologue. I'm not that old, so I'm not that far removed from you guys. No problem with people being old. Hey, I'm from the hood, so the point is to keep on living. So respect all the elders in the room. All right, so if we have no open reflections, I got anybody with that drum major instinct, with that good spirit, you want to be involved. I got something I want to do with a few people. We're not going to do it right away, but I need to know for later on. Anybody wants to participate. And I need like 11 folks, and I need like 1 table. So anybody want to be engaged? We're going to shake it up a little bit. That's why I got no paper, no PowerPoint. Young, fresh, like who wants to be engaged? Let me see some hands. Anybody wants to be a part of a little, okay, I got 1, 2, don't be shy. Let the drum make 3, drum maker speak 4, 5. Oh, this feels like an auction. We're gonna go on there. All right. Oh, 6. There we go. Come on. 7. Yes. Yes. Anybody else? 8. Oh, there we go. 9. I like this. We should just keep counting. Counting has never been so fun. Is that 9? I need 2 more people. 11. I mean 10, 11. Now I'm messed up counting. Like 80s and 9. Anyway. I went to a public school and a private school, don't judge me. All right, so I had 11 people. Can I see those hands in the air real quick? All right, so I'm gonna do something. This table right here, I need all the people who's participating to sit at 1 table together. All right? Can I hijack this table from you guys? I don't know if you can reallocate yourselves. I'm trying to think of the least occupied, populated table, and I think it's you. So if we could just take your table, it's gonna be pretty awesome. Where are my drum makers at? Can you like gather your things and shift over there? And we're gonna eat after I get them seated, we're gonna eat. I need 11 folks. Yes. You're the brave ones. You're the great ones. You're serving now. Yasmin, there's a yellow notebook behind you. I'm going to put it at that table.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yes. Thank you for reminding me.
All right.
What time?
So, the rest of you guys are going to eat very soon. We got 11 people at that table.
Thanks for reminding me.
11 folks. I need a spokesperson at that table. Who's the spokesperson? Spokesperson, you're going to have to document a few things. You sure? You ready? So, all right, if I can have everybody's attention really quick. If I can get everybody's attention, we're eating in like 60 seconds. All right, so this table I just hijacked, all these people are going to be, some of them are going to be blindfolded, and some of them are going to have a painting mask on, and they're going to have to wait to eat. Don't worry, you're the great ones though. Listen, you're only going to wait about 15 minutes, but here's my deal. You guys ready for the deal? They're going to wait to eat. A few are going to be blindfolded. A few are going to be masked. It's going to be 1 spokesperson who writes and documents. But the rest of you guys are going to be privileged enough to eat in front of them while they wait. You can wait to eat with them or not, or you can just eat. But a few of them won't even see what you're eating, see what you got access to, what you get to eat. And some might see it, but they can't really say it or communicate to the other. They can feel it though. And I have, what's your name?
Oh, I don't have paper. Hannah will be documenting everything.
Oh, why are you ducking the documented piece? We only gonna have 1 notebook and 1 pen over there. And the rest of you guys are gonna be released to eat. They're gonna wait a little bit longer. I know you're tough, hang in there. I wanna document this experience. If you choose to wait to eat with them, that's fine. If you don't wanna wait, just eat. It's part of the experience. You got access, you got privilege to eat, you don't have to wait for them. You guys, you're the strong ones, you're the great servants. We'll start on this edge, like these 2 tables here. You guys wanna go ahead and grab food? I grab food. These are brand new. They're like right out of the Sherman Williams store. Except for that one, it just fell. But other than that, So let's go ahead and get you guys tied up a little bit. And trust me, nobody get hurt. We'll all eat. But these first 3 tables in this row, you guys can go ahead and eat. And we'll just do like tables by threes, and we'll just go ahead. And I don't know how they want to serve you, but you'll get served, or is it's just buffet. You just go grab it. So go ahead. No, go eat. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up. Go get your plate. Even if you want to wait, you can still bring your food back to your table. But go eat. So first 2 tables, 3 tables over. My marginalized group, you can talk, write your thoughts on how you're feeling. You know some good food there. You don't know what the food looks like, what it smells like. Just know it's like 40 people eating before you, and you'll get to listen to them smack a little bit. And thank you guys for participating. And you make sure you exchange names, and you tell your writer, just say one word feelings or whatever, you know, lonely, hungry.
All right, you guys have a grilled chicken quinoa salad with lemon sage chicken, traditional quinoa, grape tomatoes, Kalamata olives on a bed of greens, fresh hummus and pita chips with gluten-free option as well, fresh fruit salad, fresh bakery cookies, iced water, lemonade, and coffee at your disposal.
You guys did great work. All right, we can get another table back there. You guys want to go ahead and hop in line. This back table here. Again, guys, feel free to eat. We'll take maybe like a 30 minutes of the dinner thing. These guys will eventually eat, but I think they might be a little bit lesser human beings, so I don't think they should eat right away. They should, you know, get access to the rest of it. So no, literally, feel free to eat. Go ahead, do your thing. It's all in the name of science. And I just go ahead and say that anybody who wants to get in line, it's only like 3 more tables. If you want to stand up, you see what it is. But feel free to go ahead and get in line. The menu sounds pretty good. You guys have access. And feel free to get in line, man. And again, folks, you don't have to wait. If you want to eat, if you want to be an ally, whatever that means, you can be an ally and wait for these guys. But go ahead and do what you do. It's on you. It's really on you. What did they deserve? What did they do to deserve when you eat? Did they work as hard as you? I don't think so. Go ahead. Can you believe this? You got people trying to sneak them food like they deserve food right now. They are where they are. Let them wait till they get there. I gave them water. I gave them some welfare water. Leave them alone. Everybody else has to eat first. Who has a job? Who was born in the right place, in the right community. Please don't. That's an entitlement. Those are entitlement cookies right there, and this is entitlement pita chips. Do not give them entitlement cookies and entitlement pita chips. You earned what you have, right? It was good, right? I see clean plates. Do not incentivize these people to be dependent. Please. Enjoy your entitlement cookies. No pita chips. Be sure to write your thoughts and feelings down over there. Others, write down your thoughts and feelings. We should build a wall to keep them people away from our food line. That's actually what we should do. Yeah, we might just want to do that. These cookies and these little chips. You eventually take them out. All right. Kiana, it looks like you're the last one. These people should be grateful to get some good leftovers. Minority table, however you make it over there to that access, whoever has a blindfold on or whatever, however you get there. Go ahead and get you some food. Somebody has to lead them. I don't know who's going to lead them. I'm not sure. I was in favor of the wall. Whoever has to lead them, lead them. And only when you get to the table can you take your blindfold off. Only when you get to the food, to the access to the resources. You people are too kind-hearted. Like, they already got water and cookies. Water and cookies.
What's up?
They could have worked for that food.
I'm being guided. So, hopefully.
All right.
And he was still
When
following
you
you.
get
That
to the
is
table, you can
friendship.
remove your blindfold and become a human again.
Man, this cat can't see. If he says it's okay,
You should let it work for that pipe. I mean, it was hot for it. That's it. Oh, you good-hearted, soft-breed eaters. They'll be at your table every day expecting the same kind of meal you got. Hey, you guys in the back of the table, thank you very much. Now, honestly, the person people who in the back, you want to remove your blindfolds. Now, you remove them down so we get back to the table and we'll reflect like a few guys. So you want to take off your blindfold, just get your food. Shout out to the allies who came to get out and walk them over there. They know how to navigate the system and get access to those resources. Get over there and get that resource. They didn't know how to navigate that system and get over there and get to that access to the resource. So shout out to the allies who helped. But if you're that approach with the blindfolds and the mouth thing on, you can take it off now. We'll come back to the table, we'll reflect, do one last thing. Take those blindfolds off if you want. Take them off, take them off, take them off. Take that mask off. You guys did a great job. Can we give a round of applause for the minorities? Just to work it through. Can we give a round of applause for the minorities in the room? Wait a minute, why do they deserve applause just for like, man, never mind. Anyway, thank you guys for participating. You're some great drum majors, and I appreciate you. So we'll give them time to get settled, to eat, and we'll come back to the mic in like 10, 15 minutes. And I'll let some of them speak. Remember, this workshop was to engage you guys. So somebody who chose to eat, some people who chose to wait, and we'll talk to a press people group and the allies. And we're gonna close this thing out. I don't really have to shuffle the job. I just want to make a point. Thank you so much. Everybody enjoy. I'll be back in about 15 minutes or less. And one more thing, the press people group, when you get back to your table, be sure to write the reflections down and how good it was to eat finally, and just what that whole experience was like. Thank you. Not having voice or sight. Eat regardless of when they ate, also speak, and then we'll have this group reflect on their experience, and I'll end with like a little piece of the speech, and we're gonna wrap up and get out of here. You guys having a good time? We good? Was the food good? Is it okay to be different in 2019? I don't believe you guys, and that's the people who ate over there too. Nah, thank you so much. So again, I need like 2 allies and then 1 person who was indifferent from the privilege class, and then we'll have that table reflect, and then we'll pretty much be closing out tonight after I end with one last snippet of something for myself. All right, cool. And hey guys, I was your ally. I didn't eat, and I only waited to eat. I ate some of your pita chips because you didn't deserve it anyway, but I'm gonna go eat too. Hey, can we play a little music or something sweet? I don't know if you can pull it up. I don't know, something smooth. That's my girlfriend nickname, it is sweet.
About 10 minutes.
All right, guys, in about a minute, we're going to start a reflection, like 60 seconds. So we want to eat and wrap up. And we'll actually get out of here a little bit early. So about a minute, we'll start a reflection. We'll have our table over here come up, a few people share. And one person who waited to eat, one person who didn't wait to eat will share as well. So have a few of these guys share, and then a few of you share. So in about 60 seconds, we'll bring it back in, all right? All right. Okay, we're back at it, guys. Can I have your attention back here, please? I need somebody who did not wait to eat to come speak on why they didn't wait, and somebody who did wait to eat or was an ally, maybe the cookie sneaker or peanut peddler, and then we'll have the oppressed or this minority, because you might think they were oppressed, but the minority table come testify like three folks. So 60 seconds, 30 seconds, about 60 seconds or so, we talk about what were your thoughts and feelings. Anybody who waited to eat or didn't wait to eat, who wants to come share? No judgment here. It was just a social experiment. And the food was good. I empathize. Anybody who waited to eat who wants to come up or was an ally to this group? Don't be ashamed. You're belly full now. Anybody who wants to? No, ally. Any ally who wants to come talk about why they were an ally, et cetera, et cetera. You in the pink shirt. Awesome. And anybody who didn't wait to eat, you didn't owe them anything, to be honest. You just had access to food at the time you wanted food, so you ate. You know, come talk about it. You know what I mean? So you had access when you had access. You were hungry, you ate. She did, and she gave up some of her privilege and did some other stuff. So, what's your name?
Kira.
Kira, come on down.
I wasn't really sure what to do with the situation. My whole table was kind of collaborating on the choice that we should make. Some of us thought, like, yeah, we should go take their places, and I tried to do that, and I got shut down. I probably should have pushed harder and done it, but I wasn't really sure. It was really hard to make a decision, but I did wait to try food, and yeah, that was my experience.
Why did you? Why?
Why? I just thought when I went up to take a place, you had said that you deserve this, like you worked for your food, and I thought that they put the same effort in as I did because I didn't. I just sat and was told I could go.
Say it again.
I was just there, and I was told that I had the privilege to go. So I could have taken that opportunity and gone, but I didn't think that I did it more than you guys sitting at this table.
Where are you giving up space for creative space?
I don't know, that's a hard question, but
I thank you for participating. She was pretty aggressive. She was like, I'm going to take space. I'm like, no, you worked for that. Get back over there. Did you wait to eat?
I did, yes.
Okay. So, how did you feel? Because they were the last table in general, just with them waiting and then line over.
Oh, I was hungry. I wanted to eat. I was going to sneak a piece of my chicken. But once they all sat down, then my whole table started eating. We all waited.
Nice. That's what's up. Thank you so much.
Kira.
Kira. Awesome. All right, I'm waiting for the one brave soul who ate. I want to talk about why they ate. Again, it's just, listen, you're not going to go to jail, you're not on trial. Your student fees pay for this meal, so you just have food in front of you. Anybody who ate, you want to come? You, ma'am? Absolutely, come on down. Show us some love, man. Put your hands together.
Okay, I'm Kate, and I sat at the back table, which was one of the first people who got let go to eat. And our table kind of discussed, like, what are we going to do? Like, should we do this? And everybody at my table chose to go and eat except for one person. Shout out to Andrew. And we, I guess, like, our discussion, we talked about, like, this is a simulation. We wanted to make sure that there were both sides of the simulation being shown. So that's why we decided to eat. But then also, like, we're thinking, like, you know, they're gonna be released in an order anyway. So, like, if this was like a wedding or something, you know, and you were released to the buffet, and this was just the last table to, you know, they're still getting food, but they're just getting it last. Not that that's fair. I totally agree with this simulation and, like, showing that some people aren't, like, as privileged as others for not, like, a specific, you know, not like a valid reason. So, it was just, we just chose to do it.
What would you do or want somebody to do if you were at that table?
If I was at that table, I would want to, like, well, I want to make sure that to help.
They almost protested. And I'm like,
Well, that was something we talked about. We were like, should we even go up? Like, but then, like, when we were deciding our choice, but then you're like, no, you should get your food. At least go get your food. And you were very like, go eat, go eat, go eat. So we're like, well, we should. But yes, I think you should definitely, like, protest and make sure to, like, have your voice be heard. So, like, when Kira was, like, trying to, like, help them and, like, switch places with them, I think, like, that was, like, a good way to stand up for those people and try to, like, really make sure that they are, like, is accepted and that, like, you, if they're gonna struggle, you're gonna struggle with them.
would you take a plate from somebody else even if it cost you something in that moment? Somebody came and gave you a plate at that table.
I'm sorry.
Would you take the food? Somebody came and brought you the food.
If I was at that table,
Yeah.
I think I would because I'm hungry.
Yeah.
So I think I would.
Say your name again. Sorry.
I'm Kate.
Thank you so much for coming up. It's been awesome.
I know this is like pretty obvious and we already got the idea, but it's different in theory to know something and believe it than to have to practice it, right? And live it. A few people asked me for water. And I really did mean, partially, of course it was a little slanted, but I really did mean in some ways the non-judgment piece. Because it was like, hey, you're just born into this, live this life. So it's not wrong per se to have access, to have wealth or education or whatever, but it can only be wrong if we don't admit and acknowledge other people's reality. You know what I mean? Just because it's not yours and it's not your, or your social status doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, or you can't be empathetic or give space. Create a space. You know what I mean? Like say, you're in a place of privilege and you got a space or a platform for somebody to talk or share their feelings, then you can be, hey, and we know you, what's up, Sam? Hey, how you doing? I'm in the country club. Who's this other person? Oh, they with me. Come on, talk. That's like creating space, right? And we know that everybody is on country club level. I'm not saying that to be facetious or coy. I'm just saying about creating space and having empathy. All right, my minorities, how y'all doing? You guys ready? And hungry, it's just faded away some. I should have brought you up here while you were parched. If you, you couple guys who want to come up and share, come on up. It doesn't matter. There you go. Let's show them some love. Let's put our hands together. For the minorities that made it out, we got brave enough to get voice. I want you guys to talk about shame too. If you have any shame, you did not like the attention, but then you talk about whatever you want to talk about. Come on.
My name is Juan. I think one of the first things I've noticed, I thought it was kind of funny to hear like people, because I know M was trying to tell me that, because I know that M was trying to give me a cookie and they were trying to be quick, they're like raisin or peanut butter, and I was like, I don't know, the peanut butter. And when I felt the cookie in my hand, I was like, well, I can't see. I was one of the blindfolded ones. So I didn't know if everyone else around me was eating. And I didn't want to be one of the only ones eating. I wanted to make sure that everyone around me was eating in that space. And I think another thing for me was the whole protesting thing. How my table tried to protest, like, oh, the 4 people that were mad were like, let's go guide the blindfolded to the line. And I was like, you know what, let's just wait. But they were actually trying to protest, and then he came along and was like, no, I'm gonna call the cops, and everything just shut down. And I was just like, yo, now I kind of want to protest, because, you know, I grew up like in Dallas. I grew up in a not so good neighborhood, and then we somewhat moved to a pretty good neighborhood. And my parents had the fight taken out of them. Like to the point that my mom was like, make sure you're safe, like don't do anything dumb. And I've been to a few protests in Dallas. In fact, I was there when the shooting happened for Black Lives Matter, where officers were killed in front of me. for me, I just wanted my friends to be safe. I would do non-violent protests. Don't do anything dumb from there. And then once the shooting happened, you know, I was terrified for them, but I was also terrified for everyone else around me. You know, it's just that kind of fear that I never want to experience, but at the same time, it's something that's going to happen because we're all fearful for something. I'm fearful of the protests at times because I don't know if something like that is going to happen again. But that's just something I wanted to do when they were like, hey, once he said something about the cop, I'm like, no, let's just actually protest. Because like, they're always going to try to bring fear to us, and they're always going to try to break us down.
So going off that, so I'm Jack, I'm a senior, and I got a very different take. Coming from New York, that's where I'm originally from, I come from a family that we have a lot, and I'm happy and blessed to have a lot in my life. And I've also lived across the world, and I've been in contact with communities that have had a lot less than me, but until today I've never really been in a situation where I've been part of a group that has the same amount as everyone else, or has the same resources, but is simply told, you can have this, but you guys can't. And it really spoke, and to me specifically, because it felt really, it was very unnerving to be in that situation, have a blindfold over my eyes and not be able to see. And those blindfolds were really painful. I'm sorry, I gotta say it. They were not the most comfortable blindfolds, but not being able to see and only being able to hear about what's going on around me really threw me for a loop. And it puts into a new perspective where it just reaffirms my idea that no one should have to go through that, because we are all, especially in this country, we all have so many resources out there. Why do certain people have to be restricted to those resources? Everyone should have the same opportunity.
I got a question for you. Thank you for sharing with you. Did you feel any emotion like of anger, or did you feel like you didn't want to stand up because you bring more attention to yourself? Or were you like kind of angry, but were you comfortable being public?
I didn't really feel angry as much as I felt just very, very uncomfortable. I didn't know what to do. For the most part, I just sat in my seat and either what I felt was looking down in my lap, or really just trying to listen to the conversations around me. At one point, I was snuck a cookie, and I'm not gonna lie, I did have a cookie before I ate. And I was given what he called ration water. And welfare water, thank you. And when he put the glass in front of me and I felt it in my hand, I did not know if it was actually water. I thought he was playing a trick with me. I thought he was going to give me coffee, and I hate coffee.
You couldn't trust the system.
Exactly. But then I heard other people say, no, it's just water, and then I finally drank it. Yes, it was water. So for me, it was just more or less feeling really uncomfortable in my situation and not knowing what to do with the fact that I couldn't see or do anything in my situation.
One last question. How did you feel when she was reading a video? Something you couldn't see but only hear about? Or did that even touch you?
I could picture it in my mind, and it made me think, why can't I see it? Like, I want to see it so bad, and all I can do is picture it, but I can't get it. Why can't I get it? And it made me think of why, just because someone told me I can't get it, means that I really can't get it. It seemed very wrong.
Okay, so I'm Hannah. I was the spokesperson. So most of the time I wasn't busy being mad that I wasn't eating because I was just writing the whole time. I also took some cookies when I wasn't supposed to and shoved them in my pocket so that anyone noticed. So I guess I stole the cookies. And one of the biggest observations that I made was that at the beginning, all of you, because I didn't have a blindfold on, I just had a mask, I noticed that all of you were kind of like staring more and like wondering if you should eat or not, and then towards the end, you all kind of turned your backs and just started eating and weren't like so much aware of what was going on, or you were, but at that point you didn't care as
much, so I thought it was interesting how, like the, excuse me, like the glances over towards our table like decreased throughout the thing. Also something like I never felt like mad that you guys were eating because I was just like, oh, I'll get it in a bit. I didn't like want you guys to suffer just because we were. So for me, it wasn't like a big deal you were eating. I just found it interesting how you felt guilty about it. And then eventually didn't so much. Some of the interesting comments. Deja kept saying, this isn't fair. I don't like this. People were saying like the fruit and drink sounds so good. When that was after the menu was described, I just kept thinking, oh, I have stuff in my refrigerator when I get back to my dorm. Kira tried to help, which was really nice. That was noticed. A lot of people didn't have any idea what was going on. We all wanted to protest, and even when you told us not to go, we all still debated if we should just storm up and eat. And it's only 15 minutes, but then you said 15 minutes a couple of times, so we didn't really know if we were going to get to eat or not. And there was like nothing physically stopping us from going. We were just continually told we couldn't go, so that's why we thought we could protest. Yeah, I think that was our biggest observations. There's some more, but yeah.
Right. Can you say your name again?
I'm Hannah.
Hannah, how do you feel about the time? Like, oh, you get it this time. You get it again. What did that do to you guys?
I mean, that was a little like taunting, I guess, because it was just like, oh, we got our hopes up and then we didn't, and we had to wait more. So, I mean, it was only like a couple minutes, but each
You got
time.
your what up?
What?
You got your what up?
We got our hopes up.
What's hope?
Just like you're wanting something, like you keep thinking you're going to get something, so you kind of like get happy ahead of time for something you might get later.
Hi, I'm Emily. One of my observations during this was that I didn't really want people to help me. Now I feel really bad. Em tried to sneak me a cookie, and I was like panicked because I'm like, someone's there and they're trying to give me something, and I was like freaked out. And I suppose that maybe there's a deeper meaning, like, oh, I don't want to like bother people and make them have to help me. I don't really know if that is what it was, but you know, maybe I think I just like to do things myself and be able to achieve by myself. And I think that's partly, I don't know, I wanted to wait and just wait to eat. I don't know. I didn't want to have someone else get in trouble. I didn't want to get in trouble because I never like getting in trouble. And so I guess that's sort of what I took away from it. I just wanted to be patient. And like I appreciated people that helped, but I was like also uncomfortable because I didn't want to get in trouble and I didn't want them to get in trouble. But
That's great. So you had a self-advocacy approach. Did it make sense that you would get in trouble? You wanted to eat?
I mean, obviously you're not gonna like publicly,
Right.
but I mean, in a real life scenario, that would be pretty scary. That would be pretty scary.
Did it change your condition that you were upstanding and you wanted to earn it or whatever? Did it change your status? Did it give you more access that you wanted it the right way or anybody else's view? So you said you wanted to do it, you wanted to wait, you don't want anybody to help you. Did that change the fact that you were a minority and you didn't have access? So you had a self-efficacy, independent approach and you wanted to do it the right way.
Yeah.
But if you stepped out of line in your social status, you condemned. Was time on your side?
I mean, even though you kept saying 15 more minutes several times,
Was it on your side?
I don't really know. But
No, that's cool. Say your name again. Thank you. I feel like my grandmother is watching me somewhere with this hat on in her room, and I should take it off. I'll take it off. My grandmother was first cousins with Fannie Lou Hamer, and they were really close. The lady who said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, civil rights activist, she charged the floor of the Democratic Convention in '64 to make them recognize black delegates. So Fannie Lou Hamer. But in short, can we give a round of applause again for this table right here? One of the biggest crimes to these guys was time. There was something promised. One, their status in life wasn't really determined by them. There was something promised, access to food, to resources, housing, education, legal representation. And it was promised that it would get better, or they would get it, and they didn't get it when they were supposed to get it. And if they stepped out of line, even though we knew it was an experiment, to be honest, did some people kind of look at them differently? Like, it's human nature to be like, oh, that's them and this is us, right? Imagine if this table, although marginalized and oppressed, had a historicity or a culture or heritage of people who actually worked in this country or to build this room, right? Imagine if their families built this room and painted the room and the table and did the electricity work and all that. Not that all the minorities did all the work to build the nation, but we obviously know what I'm hinting at. We're talking about 300 years of slavery. We're talking about that industry that funded the Industrial Revolution, that it then grew this nation in a lot of ways. Bodies to fight wars, 3/5 of man. So not only do you don't get access to the current resources, your families actually put in work to build this room, to establish Ripon as a school. I can say I like polysyllabic words, and I try to be erudite and eloquent, and I like speeches, and I like listening to them. I know a lot of Martin Luther King ones. But I felt like this workshop would be more impactful with something like this happening, versus just a PowerPoint and me talking pretty words. And half you guys like, I like them. The other half like, I could have been asleep, but I ain't good. How long will it take? How long will prejudice blind the divisions of men? It won't be long. Truth crushed the earth shall rise again. How long? Not long. Because no lie can live forever. How long? Not long. Because though the arc of the universe is long, that meta-narrative bends towards justice. How long? Not long. Truth on the scaffold. God sitting behind the throne, keeping watch on his own. How long? Not long. Oh, be jubilant, my feet. God is judging men's heart before his judgment seat, sifting through their hearts like wheat. How long? Not long. Mine eye have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. How long? Not long. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah. God's truth is marching on. How long? Too long. I was an activist in Milwaukee who shut down the freeway for Dondre Hamilton, who was shot 14 times in the park by officers there. The family waited 8 months for the DA to make a decision. On December 19, 2014, two organizations planned to protest. People drove on the freeway, and bystanders walked, and a separate protest organized and blocked the ramps. How long? Not long came into place because after being shot 14 times, DA hadn't made a decision. We protested. We didn't have a voice. We didn't have space. So we made space. On a holiday weekend, 74 people got arrested for protesting, clogged like the intake. There was a big cell of women, and then all the guys that processed later. When we walked past, all the ladies went, one of the best feelings. But it's 2019. I don't know what side you guys fall on, politically or even economically. But Martin Luther King said something today. We talked about time, we talked about access, we talked about giving a voice. He said it's, in the drum major speech, it's either nonviolence or non-existence. This is a volatile time. We see shutdowns, we see arguments, we see race riots, potentially, or high tension we wonder, if I was born in a certain time, what would I do? Well, you're born now. Martin Luther King said he would choose to be born the time he was born. We have a lot of comforts and a lot of access. And if just because in Ripon it's not an issue, or this other place, I mean, it won't be. I'm reminded of that, I think it's a Shakespeare quote. He said, the world is a stage where every man gets but a verse in their own play. We got a verse, y'all. Today is 2019. You can do something. Research what you talk about. Just don't listen to pundits or whatever outlet you listen to. Actually check out what they say, because hear people cross-examining. I'm not here to entertain as much, and I actually enjoy entertaining. I think I'm kind of funny. But, shout out to Kiana. Thank Kiana for bringing me out. But today is time for us to do something. I'm 33, I just turned 33. And I've been in college and I'm going back. It's time for us to do something. It's time for us to know what we're talking about. It's not to just be parrots, but I listen to a lot of his sermons like they just lectures. And I'm like, God, wow, this guy was dynamic. He said the fierce urgency of now, like 50 years ago. There could really be a non-violence or non-existence. I just thank you guys for your time. I thank Kiana and Ripon. I thank my beautiful lady over there, Yasmin, for fighting with that computer. And I'm thankful that my lived experience and education allowed me to be here at this moment. And who knows, maybe you guys will have me back, but this was fun. Round of applause for yourself. I just thank you for this. And remember this. This is a joke. You rarely have a speaker who will come and leave early. You're welcome.
Once again, we want to thank Sam for coming here and showing us how to be a leader through the eyes of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We appreciate you coming from all the way from Milwaukee, sharing those stories, and helping us be a leader once again. Thank you very much. The co-directors of the Center for the Politics of the People to join me on stage, as this is a co-sponsored event. I meant to say that in the beginning. So this event was brought to you by the Center for Diversity and Inclusion and the Center for the Politics and the People. And they wanted to shout out their upcoming event they have. Henrik O'Brien. And don't forget, MLK Week has been moved to April 1st through April 7th. So much in store for that week, including a trip to Memphis, Tennessee. So get ready for it.
Let's have a shout out for Kiona. She really worked hard to make this happen. It's been an honor for the Center to co-sponsor this event. We're going to have another event co-sponsored on February 20th right here in Great Hall. The Center for Politics and the People and DREAM, Disability Rights and Education and Action Network at Ripon, and the Psi Chi Honor Society of Psychology, all co-sponsoring a panel on the mental health needs of young Americans today and the challenges these present to public policy. And so from 6:30 to 7:45 here on February 20th, we're going to have 4 professionals who will be speaking. Dr. Sarah Reed, who is a psychologist at Rogers Memorial Hospital here in Wisconsin, and who works with the Wisconsin Initiative for Stigma Eradication on Mental Health. Lindsay Lowe, who works here in Ripon as therapist in collaborative wellness. Rory Linane, who is a journalist with the Gannett Network and who has written extensively on teen suicides. And finally, Dr. Alan Borsuk, who is the journalist in residence at Marquette Law School, who tracks educational policy and budgetary issues in the schools of Wisconsin. They'll be speaking about mental health issues. So we hope you can come to that event, that important event, on February 20th here in Great Hall. Thank you.
And thank you again all for coming this evening and participating again. Thanks also to all of our volunteers.